topic of tradable bottoms. So you and Tracy Shukart, who's a regular guest, of course, had a really interesting exchange about VIX and SPY, saying we haven't hit a tradable bottom yet. So can you talk us through what you look for in a tradable bottom?
Yeah, I always try to, I literally have an account in my trading account that sits in cash until the VIX trades 30. Right. And that's kind of one of the basic ideas is, just when there's blood in the streets and total panic happening, that's when you have to keep your head and be able to put money into the markets. And ideally, you get there on a sort of slow burn up towards, say, call it 30 or 30 something. And then all of a sudden, you walk in on a Monday morning, there's bad news out. The S&P is dangling at a new low. The VIX is bid a new high. And everybody's like, oh my God, what is about to happen? That's an inhale risk moment for me every time.
Right. 32 is the March low too, Tony. I mean, the March high in VIX was 31.32.
Yeah, exactly. I knew you were talking about. I think that's like where you want to see some kind of, reach in volatility, which would coincide with a spill in stocks. Now that the S&P is back down here, the 200-day moving average, I get less and less bearish, and I kind of called for a little bit of a move lower. This is something that's totally manageable to me. But you need one more thing. You need to see the real panic in the VIX. You need to see huge tick index prints on the downside that show that everybody's hitting bids, consecutive red days in a row. I mean, you want to see the fear and greed tip to extreme fear. That's the stuff that gives you confidence to buy, and very little else. And that's why I'm not sure that what we just saw over the last several days was a tradable bottom in the S&P. There was just no heave. So that's my point.
Okay, so you're looking at VIX at 30. So just for the people who don't really understand the technical aspects of the VIX is telling you the expectations for the S&P 500 over the next 30 days, right? The next option, right? And so what it's telling you is there's so much capitulation in the market over the next 30 days that it's time to get in. The VIX doesn't necessarily reflect the market today. It's the expectations over the next option roll, right?
So, but the VIX expands when there's buying in volatility, which is people trying to hedge the downside of their portfolio.
Right.
And once the last guy comes in to hedge the downside, that's when, the move lower is over.